Hi guys, how's it going today? I hope you're having a fabulous Wednesday. So I want to go ahead and talk to you about a few reminders first. Please make sure you are completing your daily attendance check-in. I know some of you have heard this multiple times, but it means it's still an issue if I'm bringing it up. I I need you to do the attendance check-in because again, I have just one sheet that I can go through and say here, 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 here. You don't do that check-in, I've got to look so many other places just to make sure because I don't want to mark you absent if you're here. Also, if you are logging into Google Classroom, you're doing work but not submitting it and not doing the attendance check-in, I have no way of knowing that you're in Google Classroom. So I can't give you credit even though you might be saying, but I'm logging in, I'm logging in. If there's no attendance check-in and you haven't submitted the assignment for that day, then you're absent, even if you were in Avid Google Classroom working. So please get in the habit of completing that attendance check-in. I have been putting it on every single assignment to make it easier for you, okay? Now, tomorrow in our face-to-face classes, we are going to have another college presentation. This time it's from Texas A&M University at Kingsville. They're a great school that's not that far from home, but it's a four-year university. Now, if you'd like to see the presentation live and you are a distance learner, you can just log in during your specific class period. If you're an AVL student and you're in my second or third period, if you're available, you can just log in during second or third period. If you're AVL and you're 8th or ninth period, we are offering a session after school at 3:05. I want to give a shout out to the one student that showed up to the presentation Monday after school. So it'd be nice to have about at least 4 or 5 of you there after school for them to talk to, okay? Now, if you click on this Google Doc, you'll notice it will open and then it will take you. So again, if you're a distance learner, you just find your class period. If you're AVL second period or third period, and you'll notice, guys, here's the Google Meets. Because we have to log into computers here, we need a little more time. So this is the time. This column shows you what time we start. And if you're AVL, I have your Google Meet code right here. So hopefully we'll see a few more of you guys on Wednesday. Now, what we're going to be doing today for your assignment is we're going to be doing a focused notes check. If you remember earlier in the semester, we went over the Avid Focused Note Taking System. We call it FNT for short. And Avid created the 5 phases of FNT to help you figure out what to do with your notes. Because a lot of times in classes, guys, you take notes because the teacher says, hey, take notes. Or you take notes because they give you a packet. You take notes because, yes, it's important information, but a lot of you don't know how to use those notes after you've taken them. And that's what the focused note taking system does. It helps you figure out how to review your notes, determine what is important, what stands out, what you should focus on. It makes you think some more, and then it helps you review. Now, I hear this every year, but Mrs. Tucker, if it's in my notes, isn't everything important? I can say yes and I can say no. If it's something your teacher asks you to write down, I'm sure it's important. But there are certain pieces of information that stand out more than other pieces of information. I will tell you that. So every other week, not every week like your binder and your planner, every other week, you're going to be asked to share at least 1 page of completed focused notes. As you get into the school year, guys, I might ask for 2 pages, maybe even 3 pages, because here's the deal. You should be using this system every single day when you're taking notes in class. So minimum, and I went through this in the earlier semester, you have 4 core classes, except for some of my seniors, you may only have 3, but you have 4 core classes. You meet with them 5 days a week. So that's 20 opportunities for you to take notes, and that doesn't even include your 3 electives. And I know some of your electives, because in Avid we do take notes, some of your electives require you to take notes, but we're just focusing right now on core: English, math, science, social studies, all right? But if you meet with them 5 days a week, 4 different classes, that's 20 opportunities to take notes. Now, I'm not going to be ridiculous and say, hey, show me 20 pages of notes, because I know you don't take notes every day. So reasonably, guys, asking for 1 to 2 pages, 3 pages, that's reasonable, okay? That is reasonable. And we're doing this every 2 weeks. So you should have almost 40 opportunities to show me 2-3 pages of notes, all right? So I did include the focus note taking overview slide as a refresher, especially for those of you who are new to Avid. A lot of my veterans, you know the expectation. You were just kind of hoping because you're at home, you wouldn't have to do this as much. All right, so the first thing again, we have the focus note taking slide. These are the 5 phases. So you should have already taken notes. And guys, I cannot see phase 4, applying learning. What I'm going to be looking for on your notes is how you process, how you connect, and how you summarize and reflect. And if you can't remember what those mean, I left the slides over here. So that's phase 1. Then there's processing examples, connecting your thinking, which is where we are writing questions, and then summarizing and reflecting. So I included that for you. But what I also did, guys, is I reached out to some of my Avid veterans that are face-to-face. And the first thing I said is, hey, do you have some completed focus notes? And guess what? They said yes, because they're Avid veterans. So I included some examples. Now, these first 3 pictures are actually 1 page. So if you click on the first one, it's going to show you her notes, and notice the highlighting, things she wrote to the side, added some things in color, created question. You go to the second picture. This is the back of her notes, also writing, creating questions. And then this is her summary reflection. Okay. And then another person, this is already typed up notes that they're receiving from class. So things that they highlighted, drawing arrows, creating a summary, some questions for themselves. Guys, notice when I look at all 3 of the pictures, I can read her summary in this picture. Okay, I can read her question in this picture. Your pictures need to be clear enough and close enough that I can see that. Please make sure when you are doing focus notes, and I know you're at home, so it's much different, but you should have your name. You should have a topic on your notes. You should have the date that you wrote those notes, even if you're using a spiral. And guys, even if you're doing something like, hey, I'm online, so if I take notes, Mrs. Tucker, I type them. Hey, notice over here, I still was able to highlight. I can change my font color over here to show that if I'm doing something different, or maybe creating, or where I'm creating questions. So even if you're typing it on Google Docs, that's fine. I can use that as well. So you're going to submit 100% completed page of focus notes. I would like it either for your English class or for your science class. Now, if you're a senior that doesn't have one of those, just reach out to me and I'll give you an alternate. Make sure I can clearly see your notes, revisions, questions, summary, and reflection. This is your assignment, but it's not going to be due until tomorrow. If you're not 100% sure, especially if you're new to Avid, if you're joining Avid for the first year, that focus note overview still may not make perfect sense. Hopefully it does, but reach out to me so I can go ahead and give you some additional information or some extra examples that might help you. Guys, please have a fabulous day. I miss you in a way that doesn't get me fired, and have a great day.